Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how you can create a hierarchical multi-agent system with LangGraph. We will build up on the knowledge of the introduction video for this video, so if you have not seen it yet, first watch the introduction to LangGraph, because this will be a rather complex example. So here it is. We will create an agency system where we have multiple autonomous agents, where an LLM is the key part of each agent. One evaluator agent which decides whether an article is interesting enough to publish or not, and if yes, the article gets passed to the news chef, who decides whether the article has to be translated or rewritten. If the article is fine, it gets passed to the publisher, who publishes the article. Important, the translator and the expander only report back to the news chef, but have no authority to pass the article to the publisher. So this is where we've got our hierarchy implemented. Let's directly jump into the code. You will find the link to the code in the description. And if you clone the repository, then please open the agent team IPython notebook. Here you'll find the header team of agents with a supervisor. So this is what we're going to implement. We're first going to start by implementing the evaluator agent. The evaluator agent is responsible for telling the news chef if an article is relevant to be posted or not. So we're going to make that by using a structured output, and we're going to use a pedantic class here. So we inherit from a base model, and here in the attribute section, we define the attribute binary score, which is a string, and in the field we provide a description for the LLM. So the description is the article is about football transfers, yes or no. So this is what we're gonna get back from the LLM. Then we instantiate the chat OpenAI class. We pass the transfer news grader here as argument to the with structured output method. And then we define our chat prompt template. So in our system message, we say you are a grader assessing whether a news article concerns a football transfer, and so on and so on. So provide a binary score, yes or no, to indicate whether the news is about a football transfer or not. Then we pass that system message, here a system message, to the from messages method, and we pass a human message, which comes from the state later. And here we pass in the original article we want to evaluate. And then we use the langchain expression language and pipe the prompt to the structured LLM grader. So this is our chain, and we call it evaluator. So let's execute this code. And now we can try to invoke that. There are rumors that Messi will switch from Real Madrid to FC Barcelona, or in the other direction. And now we can have a look at how the evaluation looks like. So this result binary score is yes. And we can see, yeah, this is how it works with a structured output. And we can also access here the binary score attribute. So we just get the string yes. So that was quite easy. Let's now continue with the news chef, who is responsible for evaluating if an article is ready to be posted, yes or no. And if it meets the word count, so an article has to have at least 200 words, yes or no, then it has to be sensationalistic. And if that's not the case, we say it's not, and otherwise it's yes. And also we only want to provide a German article. So if the article is German, we output yes, and otherwise we output no. And the responsibility for the news chef is to evaluate that all these attributes here are yes. Then the article can be posted. Otherwise, they cannot be posted. So let's say we only got 50 words, then the article will be routed to the expander, who will then expand the article to at least 200 words. If it's in English, let's say, then it will be routed to the translator, and this will translate the article to German. So that's how the workflow works. So let's first do that independently. So we create our chat OpenAI class again. We pass the structured output. We pass here the article possibility grader. And again, we have a system message. You are a grader assessing whether a news article is ready posted or not. Make it in yes or no. And then we pipe again our prompt template to the structured output LLM. And again, we can check our result here. So let's invoke that article. Es wurde gemeldet, dass Messi von Real Madrid zu FC Barcelona wechselt. So this is already in German. That's the same like before. And here we can see cannot be posted because it doesn't meet the requirements yet. Word count no, sensationalistic is no, and the language is yes because that is already in German. So this is how it works. So the logic for each of our agents keeps the same. And now we're going to implement the subordinates of the news chef. So this is the translation agent who is responsible for translating an article into German. And here we've got a simple translation system message, your translator converting articles into German. And we again pipe that to the LLM. We don't need a structured output here. And because we just want to translate the article, so let's invoke that. I guess nothing special. So here we've got this article in English and here is the content in German. So not really difficult in this case. Again, the expander who is responsible for writing an article in at least 200 words, otherwise because it's not ready to be posted. So here we've got only a few words and the expander is then responsible for creating a longer article. Here you can see this article is much longer. Okay, now we've got all of our agents or LLMs that we need. Now we can combine that to an agentic workflow with the LangGraph. So the actual system is quite easy. So we only got an article state, which always is evaluated. We don't have any more attributes than this article state. So let's use that as state for our graph. So now let's define some functions which are used in the nodes of LangGraph. So the first one is get transfer news grade. So this is where the evaluator works. And the evaluator actually does nothing with the state. So we only pass the state and return the same state again. We add some print statements, but actually the evaluator is not responsible for doing anything with the article. Then we've got the news chef. And again, the news chef is not responsible for doing anything with the article. So we again pass the state as argument and return the same state as before. And then we've got the translate article function. So this is where we actually access the article. So we're going to do this just like a normal dictionary. We pass the state and we access here the article by using the article state key. And then we pass the article here to the translator. And then we override the article state. And then we return the whole state again. The same applies for the expander, which is responsible for writing at least 200 words. So we access the article again by accessing this article state key. We pass that to the expander and we override the state by overriding that with the result .content. And again, we we return the whole state again. So quite simple actually. And then we've got the publisher, and the publisher also does nothing with the article, only is responsible for publishing it. So again, we pass the state and return the state. And here we could actually do something with it. Okay, so far we only created functions which change the state, but now we have to create functions which are used in the conditional edges. These functions do not return a state, but return a string. And based on the output of such a router function, that determines the next action in the agent workflow. So here we've got our evaluator router, and we evaluate whether an article is relevant or not. So if it's related to football transfers, then we grade it as yes, and otherwise we grade it as no. And if we say yes, then we want to route it to the news chef, and this will be used in a mapping later in the conditional edges. So if we scroll down a little bit, here you can see that the evaluator workflow is such that if it's yes, then we will return news chef, and this will route to the news chef node. And if it's not relevant, then we will return an end node. So the workflow is finished. So this is how this works with the conditional workflows. So we've got two conditional workflows, and that is the evaluator, which routes to the news chef or otherwise to the end node when it's not relevant. And then we've got the news chef router, which evaluates if an article can be posted, then it will be directly routed to the publisher. So if that's not the case, but the language is already German, then we will have a look at the word count and if it's then journalistic. And if that's not the case, we will route to the expander. And if it's not German, then we will route to the translator. So the evaluator and the news chef are our conditional workflows. And now we have everything to create our final workflow. So we pass the agent state, which we created earlier, which just is this simple type dict with an article state attribute. So we pass this to the state graph, And then we create our nodes. So we use the add node method of the workflow. And as key, we provide the evaluator first. And here we set the function to get transfer news grade. So nothing happens here. This will not change the state. Same applies for the news chef. But for the translator, we pass the translate article function where actually we work with the state and return a changed state. Same for the expander where we expand the article to 200 words. And in the publisher route, we actually do nothing again. So there's the publisher route, takes the state and returns the state again. So these are the only two functions which actually do something with the state. We set the entry point then, which is the evaluator. So first, every article gets evaluated and then passed to the news chef or not. The next step is to create our conditional edges. So the conditional edges define where the workflow goes next. So in this evaluator router function, we've got multiple outputs, the news chef or not relevant. So again, I'm gonna have a look at that to make it clearer. So we've got this news chef string and this not relevant string. And these are used in the mapping here. And if that's the case, then we will route to the news chef node. So we will run this. And otherwise we will go to the end node and this will end the workflow. We do the same for the news chef. And here, if the output of the news chef router is translator, we will route to the translator node. If we return publisher, we will return to the publisher node. And the expander, if that's the output of this news chef router function, we will route to the expander node. The next step is now key for the hierarchy we implement. And this is the translator node, that this always routes back to the news chef and the expander too. So the expander and translator never route to the publisher. Only the news chef is allowed to do this. So this is where we create our hierarchy. Now let's actually create this workflow. And I think it's always helpful to again visualize it. Here we can see that we've got the evaluator. If it's relevant, we pass it to the news chef. If not, then we end it. And here we can see that the translator always here routes back to the news chef, same for the expander, and that only the news chef is able to route to the publisher. And then we can end our agentic workflow. Okay, let's try it out. So the first article is the Pope will visit Spain today. So let's have a look at the result then. Here we can see some print statements, evaluator, binary score is no, and the final result is the Pope will visit Spain. So we did not change the state. And yeah, it was not evaluated, not translated or anything. Here, when we've got the same, Messi gonna switch from Barca to Real Madrid, then this should be graded as true. Here we can see binary score is yes. And at the end, we should have a new article. And here is the final article. So this is in German, of course. Lionel Messi, einer der besten Fußballspieler aller Zeiten, and so on and so on. So this is in German, and it's a lot of text now. And this is something that the publisher could now publish. So we could, of course, also send the result of the publisher to an API or whatever we want to do as publisher. Okay, great, that's it. I hope you now know how to implement hierarchical workflows with the LangGraph. If you got questions, please let me know that in the comments. And thanks for watching. See you. Bye-bye.